Hello and welcome back to Mr. Mayor's Book Chats. I'll talk to you about 5 different books today. First one is called Unwind by Neal Shusterman. So the author of Scythe and Dry. This is another dystopian book, but it's about a world not so far distant where life is kind of too important to be messed with or interfered with from the instant of conception until the age of 13. But from age 13 to 18, parents and guardians have the opportunity to have children unwound. Technically, life doesn't end when you get unwound, but every part of the child is harvested to be parceled out and passed on to the highest bidder. So, in this gruesome age of organ harvest, readers meet Connor, who is a troublemaker, and his parents can't handle him anymore, so they want to unwind him. They meet Risa, who doesn't have parents, and the rising cost of orphanages is going to get her unwound. And we meet Lev, a tithe, who was conceived for the pretty much purpose of being unwound and donated to society to have his organs kind of doled out. Well, they meet kind of coincidentally, and they hatch this plan to escape, because if they get to the age of 18, they won't have the option of being unwound anymore. So they create this cross-country escape plan to not be unwound. So there's adventure, there's horror, it's disturbing at times, disgust and fear. This is the start of a series. So if you liked Scythe or Dry and like Neal Shusterman's writing style, pick this one up. The next one is much lighter in tone. It's called Stay Sweet, and it's just kind of a light romantic book. It's about a local ice cream stand that was founded in 1944 by this woman named Molly Mead, who started making ice cream to cheer up her lovesick girlfriends while all the boys were away at war. And ever since 1944, only women have worked at this ice cream stand. And 17-year-old Amelia and her best friends, Kate, have worked at the stand every summer for the past 3 years. And Amelia is finally head girl at the stand. But then Molly passes away. And even before Amelia has her first day in charge, Amelia is not sure that the stand can go on. But then Molly's grandnephew Grady arrives in town and asks Amelia to stay on to help continue the business. But Grady also has some other changes in mind. So it's a book about a little bit of romance, girl power. So if you like that, check this one out. Next book is called Rikers High by Paul Volpone. So Paul Volpone has written some other sports books, but this one is a little bit different. It's about a kid named Martin who's sitting on his front stoop of his apartment building, minding his own business, when he is arrested for something he didn't even mean to do. And 5 months later, he's still locked up on Rikers Island, a New York City jail. And just when things can't seem to get much worse, he's caught between 2 other prisoners, and his face is slashed. And after that, he's sent to kind of another part of the island where inmates are required to attend high school. And he meets this English teacher that kind of teaches him a whole lot more than just English. So it's kind of a gritty take on what high school could be like in maximum security prison. Next book is a graphic novel called Bloom, and this is about Ari. And now that high school's over, Ari is dying to move to the big city with his band. If he could just persuade his dad to let him quit his job at their bakery. And he loved working at this bakery, but Ari can't fathom wasting away any more time in this bakery. He's got so much better things to do. So he interviews some candidates for his replacement, and Ari meets Hector, an easygoing guy who loves baking as much as Ari, kind of wants to get away from it. But as they become closer over baking, love is, in a sense, ready to bloom. That is, if Ari doesn't ruin everything. So it's about young love. There's some baking. Again, if you like graphic novels, check that one out. And the last one is called Stiff by Mary Roach, a nonfiction book all about what happens to bodies after you die. And Mary Roach, she's got a couple other books, and I love this author. She takes these kind of morbid subjects, and there's a little bit of humor in it, and it's just fascinating. Some of the things she talks about. She talks about going into mortuaries and looking at how they use cadavers for crash test dummies. So if you've ever had any inclination about wanting to learn more about human cadavers or going into the medical field, check this one out. As always, thank you for watching. Come see me down in the library.